Hey guys, Ice Amy here, back with another video. I know I haven't made a video in a hot fucking minute, but I'm back and I finally have time to talk about something that I've been desperately wanting to share, but for some reason timing has always been off. I feel super rusty being in front of the camera, on top of the fact that I'm sunburnt as shit and I have dark spots all over me. I'm trying to just flow. I feel like I need a beer, but we not gonna do that because I've been trying to cut back on drinking. Anyways, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, and y'all know that I've gone through some shit, and I, for the most part, can get myself through the most shit no matter what it is. But I will definitely say that this situation, hands down, took the hat with really testing my evolution as a person and testing my growth and testing my maturity. And I was in a rut for a good 6 months. Nah, maybe 4 or 5. Yeah, like about 4 or 5 because it's already been like 2 months. Okay, so I was in a rut for about 4 or 5 months because of this situation. This situation was affecting my peace. This situation was causing thoughts that made me want to revert back to the old me. And the way I approach situations that are challenging like this, I always felt like if I'm being triggered or if I feel like I am in a super challenging position, it is because I'm going through a growth period. The hard thing about going through growth periods and being presented with obstacles is learning how to get through those periods. It's learning how to be self-connected and self-aware that you are actually learning the lessons that are intended for you to learn during those times. And that I found was probably one of the hardest things in this situation. So let's just get on into it on what the fuck I'm talking about for those who don't know. Back in 2014, I received a call in the middle of the night that something was wrong and I had to go pick up my closest cousin. She was like a sister to me. Anyways, it's like 2 in the morning. I go to Galt and I find my cousin laying there, cold, unconscious, a white tank top on, blood all over her tank top, her shoes and her pants set on the side of her, and her wearing basketball shorts. While there's a group of guys that are like 2 or 3 guys that are standing by her and her friend, her girlfriend. Instantly, I knew she had been raped. So I proceeded to pretty much flip bitches. I pretty much was like, who the fuck here was trying to fuck on my cousin, who do you know? And I had this one particular guy was like, no one was trying to talk to her, no one was on her, she was by herself, we found her like this is how she was, we called you so that you could come pick her up. And I was like, no, I need a list and I need a name of every motherfucker that was here, because I swear to God, I'm about to come back here and I'm about to fucking really torture some shit until I figure out who the fuck did this shit to my cousin, because I know something was done to her. I went up in the house, I woke up the parents, which were, by the way, drunk and fucking naked in their bed. I didn't give a fuck. I ran up in their house and I fucking did what I had to do. Anyways, this whole process happened rather quickly because I had to take my cousin to the hospital. So that night, I take my cousin to the hospital. I'm with her all night in the hospital. We had to take her to another hospital to receive a rape kit. And that's pretty much where the story starts. As the story unfolds, I am told that a specific girl who was a couple years older than my cousin, I'm 2 years older than her, and this girl's my age, she was the one that picked up my cousin and her friends and took them to this party. I then found out that another girl who used to be friends with that same girl had also gone through something similar that my cousin had gone through, while she was hanging out with this girl. So I initially was like, oh, okay, this female is one of those females that recruits younger girls and, you know, sexual violations happen pretty much. The rape kit comes back that my cousin had indeed been raped. They also took DNA, and they also knew the house of where this whole shit happened. So they were able to get DNA from men that were there. It wasn't until the DNA came back that it was brought to my attention that the DNA that was found in and on my cousin's body was the same DNA of the guy that I had in front of my face swearing to me nobody was talking or trying to talk or trying to fuck on my cousin. There are no words that can describe the amount of anger I felt. Imagine finding the closest person to you the way in which I found my cousin. Imagine spending all night with her, seeing her live the trauma because she cannot remember what happened to her. Imagine seeing the closest person to you go through spouts of anger and shame, and you're there and you're helpless because you don't know how to help that person. And then having to find out that the person who raped her was in front of your fucking face. I went through my own grief at that point because if I would have known it was him, I probably would be sitting in jail right now because I probably would have killed him that night. So I tried to look at the situation as if God was saving me because I probably wouldn't be here right now had I known that information right away. Anyway, that's the first thing. Not only does my cousin have to deal with her rape and the shame and the PTSD from it, now the same girl that took her to that party is all over social media with her sister and with her friends blaming my cousin, saying that she should have handled her liquor. She's a hoe. She's this. She's that. And it's pure fucking ignorance. Because you gotta be a real ignorant fucking woman, an ignorant fucking person to blame a victim for what has happened to them. And we see this all the time in rape cases. We see this all the fucking time. But what makes it particularly disgusting in this situation is that my cousin was completely unconscious. So to even want to blame her publicly for something that she can't even fucking remember is garbage to me. Garbage. So yes, when I found out that this bitch was running her mouth, I'm getting high for you. When I found out that this fucking woman was running her mouth on social media, of course, yep, I wanted to fight her. I did. I would call her out. She'd block me. Finally, when court came around, she had just given birth. I already clarified all this in in my other video where I addressed her personally. And she wouldn't put her child down, so I never got the chance to fight her. After that is when my cousin switched up on me. I watched my cousin inevitably turn into a zombie. I watched her take antidepressants and anxiety pills that were prescribed that completely made her alive but lifeless. And there was nothing I could do to help her. I feel like I was watching the closest person to me die. And I couldn't do shit. So because of that, I understood why when she met this guy, he sparked a light in her that had been dimmed because she was raped. And as much as I wanted to hate him for being the cause of why she switched up on me, I couldn't, because I felt like, well, you sparked a light in her that I couldn't. And I'll accept defeat. I'll accept the loss if it means that she's happy. If it means that you gave her a reason to keep fighting. So fast forward, me and my cousin aren't talking at all. I'm doing my social media stuff. And the girl who was antagonizing my cousin online, the girl that took my cousin to this party, reposts one of my pictures or videos and runs her fucking mouth. She's acting real bold online, you know, talking about she's gonna catch my fade, there's still a couple bitches she's gotta beat up, throwing all these fucking subs. I addressed her personally because I don't like to resort to that whole, you know, internet bullshit where we publicly bash each other. I'm more like, what's up? If we're gonna do it, let's meet up, let's handle it. You want my fade, let's meet up, let's handle it. When I did that, this female did what she always does. You know what I mean? Acts bold as fuck online, but don't do shit and won't do shit and won't show up in person. But then she'll go on social media and she will act so fucking bold. Given the history that I have with this particular female, I didn't take her greenlighting me lightly. You greenlit me, you want my fade, which means you and whoever the fuck is in your circle, when they see me, is probably gonna want my fade. And I don't even know who the bitch be hanging out with like that. Now I'm living and constantly having to look over my shoulder because you just never know. And I don't like to be caught slipping. I like to be able to see my enemies when they're coming. So when she greenlit me, of course, it is my fucking duty to protect myself. It is my fucking duty to outsmart my enemy. I found out where she lived. I found out the car she drives. I damn near almost found out where she works. I know the general vicinity, okay? I found out what her husband fucking drives, what his little toy car is. You know what I'm saying? I found out who they kick it with. I found out who they know. I found out their circle of fucking friends. I damn near found out where all they fucking live at because I don't take shit like that lightly. What's crazy is that her greenlighting me like that brought my cousin and I closer. Brought my cousin and I back together because we had common ground again. We had something in common that brought us back together after years of not speaking to each other. But what it started in me was an internal conflict. Because here I have this woman who doesn't even know that a lot of the shit that she did, a lot of the shit that she said about my cousin on social media added to me losing my cousin. She doesn't even realize the loss that I've experienced because my cousin was raped in her hands and she added insult to injury over and over and over again. So this person wants beef with me, not even fucking knowing that I've had a deep, deep fucking hatred for this bitch festering. Because the day my cousin was raped was the day I lost her completely. And I would try to convince myself that I lost her when she met her boyfriend. But no, I lost her when she was raped. And I lost her a little bit fucking more each and every fucking time that this female would talk shit about her. And now for this female to want to be bold with me, to want to act hard online with me, when every time I was in your face, you acted like a pussy. Now you want to put this facade that you're some big shit. And I'm over here like, God damn it. Why now? Why would this bitch do this now? I've been growing. I've been evolving. I've been wanting to change. And why couldn't this bitch acted this bold years ago when I would have popped up at her doorstep, no fucking problem, and beat her fucking ass? Now that I'm trying to be a better person, she wants to pop up and act bold. Is she being strategic with it? Is she being strategic? She knows that I won't, or maybe I will. It started a mind fuck, okay? My cousin and I ended up falling out again for the same fucking reason as the first time. Her dude. And I always say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I can't even say that this second time around, I was angry. I kind of just feel like I accepted it. Even when we were cool, because of this whole bitch talking shit, even when we would communicate, I could feel the facade that she was putting up. I could feel the wall. I'm very intuitive, and I know when people aren't being genuine. So this time that she switched up on me again, I couldn't even be mad at her. I just felt pity. I felt pity that after all this time, when you needed me the most, you called me because you knew I'd be there for you. Yet, you will go to our family that you know doesn't fuck with me, and you will completely misconstrue who I am. It was disappointing. And then I felt angry. Like, damn. Not only did the closest person switch up on me twice and do it in the most grimy ways, I'm still over here willing to ride for her. And I became really frustrated. And there wasn't a day that went by that I would tell my man, I just want to slide down this girl's street. I want to make my cousin switching up on me worth it. I want to just get my hands on this fucking female. I just want to slide down her street. Like, I won't even go to her house. Like, I'll just drive by her house every day, hoping that we run into each other. I need to get some peace from this situation because this is wrong. This is fucked up. I would have moments where I get hella quiet and Mark would be like, what are you thinking about? And it got to the point where I would almost be ashamed to tell him that all I'm thinking about is how my cousin betrayed me again and how I want to catch the bitch that was fucking with her. It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I've devoted so much time into fucking growing. I've devoted so much time into becoming a better person, and here the fuck I am. And I'm powerless because another individual has power over me emotionally. And that's this bitch. Not my cousin, the bitch. Well, my cousin too. She had, obviously, yeah, she had power over me too. I had nights where I would cry, nights where I would be so fucking angry. I would drink and I would get so fucking angry, then I'd be so fucking in my fucking feels because I just want to knock this bitch the fuck out. And it's stupid too because, like, I ain't got no shame in my game. Like, I would peep all her social media. I had eyes on all of this bitch's social media because I was steady waiting for the opportunity to catch her slipping, you know? And she's one of those bitches that post shit like, oh, bitches won't like you, but they'll stalk your shit. Damn right. Damn right. Bitches will. I'm bitches. I'm bitches. Yes, I don't like you. Yes, I'm gonna stalk your shit. Yes, I'm gonna find out everything about you because you don't threaten a bitch like me and you do not take the closest person to me without me doing something about it. But then one day, I had an epiphany. I was so tired of letting this affect me daily. And I started to think, fuck, I gotta figure something out. I gotta figure something out. So the first thing I did was I personally messaged her, dude, actually, because he had reached out to me, and I called out her fade. I said, okay, look, fuck this internet shit, time and place, let's go. She didn't want to. Whatever. That was my first attempt to solve the problem. So then I was like, okay, that didn't fucking work. I was like, well, what could I do next? I could antagonize her. I could push her psychologically to her limit and make her fucking come fight me. Cause I know that I could do that. I know what I'm capable of. That's when I hit a problem. I hit a moral problem because I am allowing myself to stoop down to the level of ignorance that this female so clearly has. I know I'm above her, and I say that in the most humble way possible, but I know she ain't got shit on me. The heart that I got, the spirit that I got, the soul that I got, she ain't even a fucking quarter of me. And I'm allowing this bitch to have emotional control over me and power? I think not. And then I realized, the light bulbs went off. I realized, oh my God, I am allowing my ego and my pride to convince me I have to prove who the fuck I am to this bitch who means nothing. I'm allowing my ego and my pride make me feel like I have to live up to my reputation. I'm allowing my ego and my pride to make me feel like if I don't handle this situation, I'm a punk ass bitch. And in turn, that ego and that pride is giving this unworthy bitch the power over me. You know what I don't like? You know what I don't like the most? Is ever allowing another human being to have power over me. I like having power over myself. And so I realized I need to get my power back. And I'm going to listen to my consciousness. I'm going to listen to my internal spirit, and I'm going to let it guide me on how I should get my power back. And you know what I did? Prayed on it. The very next day, I messaged my cousin and I laid it out. I let her have it. And I told her everything that I had ever felt from her. And I let her know just how betrayed she made me feel. And I let her know that I will never look at her the same. And I don't ever want to. That I don't trust nobody. That I can't believe how she acted. I can't believe what she said. And that I never expected it from her. But she opened my eyes. I told her not to respond because I'm just trying to heal. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear her side. I see it for what it is. So I did that, and I felt so empowered after. I felt so like, dang, all that betrayal that I was harboring from the closest person switching up on me, I felt released of it. I felt like it was no longer making me feel that pain. And it was like a joyous feeling. It was like a fucking like freedom. That's what it felt like. It felt like I broke the chains that she was having on me because she did something that impacted my life so deeply. So then I thought, oh my God, if this could do this with her, I could do this with this bitch. So I decided to, in detail, write out just how much this woman's actions have affected my life. And I was vulnerable with her. And I told her, I wanted your fade back in the day because you took my cousin to where she was raped. You talked shit to her all online. And I described to her in detail, graphic detail, how I found my cousin, what that guy had said to me, her rapist, and how I had to watch my cousin's spirit die every fucking day. And I was at first scared shitless to be this vulnerable with an enemy because I knew myself. I knew that it could go one of a couple ways. She could take it as a woman and meet me at my level and choose to understand where I was coming from, or she could try to make me seem like I'm a punk ass bitch who's trying to throw a white flag and have peace. And she could go misconstrue it to social media like I'm being a pussy. And there was so many times that I wanted to be vulnerable with her, but that little fact in itself stopped me because I knew I wasn't ready to do it. Because I knew that if she misconstrues it like I'm being a pussy, and I know that I know where she be at, I have her address, if she takes it to that level, I'm gonna show up at her doorstep. I know myself. And I feared myself. But when I changed my perspective, and when I realized that I know my old self and I'm not allowing myself to know my new self, and my new self practices mercy, my new self practices forgiveness, my new self preaches healing, and I'm not living it because of an emotional impact that this person has in my life, and I'm allowing her to have the power to sway me from everything that I've worked so hard to be and to become. And I realize I can use my ego and my pride to guide me the right way, or I can use it to make it revert to my old me. I asked myself, which one are you going to be, Amy? Because if you go back to the old you, you're being a chump to yourself and the hard work that you've put into being this conscious. But if you attempt to move forward, even if you don't get the most ideal response, at least you have proved to yourself that you have grown and you can handle any obstacle thrown at you. So I chose to move forward. She saw the message. She never replied. I let her know, this isn't me throwing a peace flag. I'm still with all the bullshit. But I'm gonna let you know my perspective in hopes that it sparks that change in her own soul to want to look at her own approach at the situation differently. Because at the end of the day, inevitably, no matter what bullshit went on, she is a mother and I'm a mother. She is a woman and I'm a woman. We should, as two human beings that have more purpose in this life, should be able to communicate differences and reach a level of understanding. And I know that on my end, I got the power to do that. I just proved it to myself. She read it and didn't reply. That's fine. Lets me know when I see her, it's still on and popping. But I did what I had to on my end to give myself peace. To prove to myself that I exhausted every and all options to approach the situation the way the true me wants to approach it, the way the healing me wants to approach it, the way the new and evolved me wants to approach it. And I took back my power. And The reason why I share this message is because there's so many times that we are presented with obstacles and conflicts when it comes to other people in our lives that we only see through the lens and perspective of pain. We only see that situation through how that situation affected us. And we get so consumed with what it looks like that we let that situation have power over us, and we let that pain and that pride and that ego determine how we act and move forward. I think it's time that we start changing perspective. I think it is time that we start taking back our own power and not allowing no one else to have that power over us. I think it is time that we let our fucking egos and our pride down so that one of us can be vulnerable in no matter what situation that we are in. And I'm going to tell you like this. The person that is able to be conscious, vulnerable, and go against the wave to do what internally and morally is right has more heart than anybody acting hard online. Anybody who is ran by their pride and their ego. Excuse my child. Anyways, you guys, that was what I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope that it helps give you a different perspective and a different way of approaching obstacles in your life. And I don't know, man. So yeah, you guys, everyone have a good day. We'll see the next time I make a YouTube video. Anyways, bye-bye.